The PILOT project aims to imagine a student city, a city that truly reflects what students love and need. Our focus is Ann Arbor, Michigan, one of the most livable cities in the United States, also a place fundamentally shaped by the University of Michigan. 45% of the city's residents are students. When we examine Ann Arbor's existing typomorphology, we see three dominant components: single-family housing, traditional street retail, and campus tissue. So, what is campus tissue? Brenda K. Hsueh frames suburban morphology into three categories: campus, static, and elastic tissues. Campus tissue refers to large piece of land. In Ann Arbor, this includes the University Academic Building, Big Box Retail, as well as the vast monofunctional residential zones, which are the home of the majority of Ann Arbor students. So, where is the tension? Students have limited mobility. They relied almost entirely on public transit to navigate this campus tissue landscape. Students contribute rent, tuition, and sales taxes. However, their daily life, from studying to entertainment, is concentrated along commercial streets and suburban plazas that are difficult to reach. To work with this condition, we propose three tools: Citywide Student Tenants Association, Shared Transportation, Zoning Change to PUD. A citywide student tenant association helps students organize and advocate for what they truly need. A shared transportation system frees up underused parking and roads. A PUD zoning change allows this space to transform into activity areas and mixed-use programs. Through Joyce's analysis of Ann Arbor's zoning, we identified key campus tissues: R4 residential areas. R4 is predominantly student housing. However, it contains oversized parking lots, offers only housing type, and sits far from commercial areas. To explore how a campus tissue site can be reorganized, we select the Valleys of North Star, one of the R4 areas in North Ann Arbor. At first glance, North Star looks ideal: beautiful houses, lawns, and a swimming pool. But beneath these images, we see the real conditions: far from central Ann Arbor with very limited walkability, highly monofunctional area with enormous amounts of parking, underused landscape within irregular building orientations.
Our strategy, PILOT, Pilot for Integrated Livability-Oriented Transformation. Pilot proposes a multi-layer system of strips, connection, and points. This framework is intentionally broad, a radical pilot project meant to reorganize the pattern of campus tissue, to add mobility and livability to this monofunctional environment. By sequencing the design from strips to connection to points, Pilot becomes a framework for rethinking student living in Ann Arbor and restructuring its campus tissue. Layer 1. Strips. Large-scale linear bands establish a new framework that overrides the existing subdivision logic of the campus tissue. As continuous landscape grounds, the strip introduce diverse ecological conditions: grass strips as informal play areas, tall native grass bands as habitat, forest strips for shade and topographic mounts, pebble grounds for flexible gathering, and wetland strips that integrate stormwater functions into seasonal water landscape. Together, these bands add spatial character, transforming today's empty open areas into high-quality outdoor environments for student life. Layer 2. Connections. A new circulation network spans the strips, forming the primary routes. These connections accommodate everyday movement and emergency access. Permeable and multifunctional, the paths connect directly to parking strips containing about 300 spaces, including shared vehicles for flexible mobility. By concentrating cars onto a limited set of routes, more of the site becomes dedicated to safe self-mobility. enhance livability, safety, and social interaction, restructure how people move and interact on the site. There are 3 points. Beyond the existing and the added housing units, new amenities organized as LMS and linear elements are introduced as points across the reorganized field. These include green spaces, recreation and sport areas, public gathering spaces, community-oriented programs, and small retail. Rather than isolated nodes, the points form a hierarchy of uses and spatial conditions. Together, they generate a diversified network of everyday convenience and social opportunities, supporting a more active and livable environment for students. This toolkit, Pilot for Integrated Livability-Oriented Transformation, can be applied to many campus tissue sites across Ann Arbor, places where the tension between student life and monofunctional residential zone persists, especially under conditions of limited mobility. Through this layered system, mobility and livability can finally be restored. We believe that through this approach, we can begin to build a true student city.